Hi everybody, I am so excited to be back. It has been a couple of weeks since I have done a live plan with me, and I have lots of updates for you. But while I am doing that, I need to set up my week, and I need to do a little bit of memory keeping for the Denver trip. Probably not all of the memory keeping, but at least get the pictures placed and kind of talk about it. Anyway, I missed you guys a lot. I am glad to be here wearing my new favorite shirt, my Chucky shirt. I love this shirt so much. If you're here on the live, let me know that you can hear me. And if you're here for the replay, let me know that you are here in the comments so that I know that you stopped by. Anyway, I'm going to flip this right over to my bullet journal and let's get started. And the updates will just come as I talk. Alrighty? Good. You can see me. You can hear me. Beautiful. Hi, everybody. I see Jessica and Jane and Carrie, Elena, Aaron, Rita, Lisa, other Lisa, Ink and Daisies, Aaliyah, Barbara, all sorts of people in here. Okay, so let's flippity flip. We're not going to be doing the kitten cam right now because one cat is in the tree and one cat is in Jesse's lap. So that's what the life we're living. So this was this past week. I just did this Monday morning and have been using the same layout. I loved it. I was going to create a layout for the week we were in Denver, and I was going to just do a couple of lists here, but I never got around to it for before we left on the trip. So I'm going to use this for the memory keeping week. So I think I'm going to start here with there's a Chucky doll driving around San Antonio. WTF. Ooh, hi Sam. Hi Steph. Catherine, Emma, Pamela, lots of you. Okay, I'm going to stop trying to say everybody's name because I'm going to miss somebody. I'm going to feel so bad. Okay, so, where's my other Klena? I want my bigger one. No, maybe I'll use a fine liner for this. Maybe I'll use a fatty boom bat. No, I'm going to use this one. Okay, so, we went to Denver, so I'm going to just do some big, when in doubt, do some lettering. Now, you guys really want to know what happened, don't you? Okay, should I? My patrons already know what happened if they watched the live stream that we did earlier this week. I think I should just do this in chronological order because it has been a hot minute here. All right. Did I find a house in Denver, Maggie? Yes. No, you don't get shots of Jesse's lap, Deb. He might be down for it. Or I might be presuming more on the limits. If Jesse's crotch brings in the super chats, there we go. Anything for the dollar bills, y'all. Denver. Okay. I need to extend this green a little bit more to make this not look so janky. There we go. Denver. Okay. Uh-oh, Victoria. Everybody's saying they're sorry. I want to know what happened. Oh, I am so sorry, Victoria, that happened. That is such a bummer. Big hopes that you heal from that well. Yes, Jessica. So, okay, right up front, I'll tell you, both we are in contract on the Napa house and in contract on our dream house in Denver. So we did come out of the Denver trip successful. So I will regale you with some of the tales now. So what week would this have been? This would have been week 18. Alrighty, week 18. I'm also drinking. I already took my potassium. I have a big jug of water, and I am currently working on a new cocktail that we discovered I actually can drink without feeling like crap, which is Crown Royal and ginger ale. It's a very weak Crown Royal and ginger ale, but I'm just having one. Thank you, Jesse. Yes. All right, so let's talk about it. So first things first. The last time that we had a live plan with me, I didn't get a lot of pictures in Denver, by the way. Let's see here. Let's take these pictures here, these beautiful pictures of a Denver sunset and this is Cherry Creek Reservoir and Cherry Creek State Park, which we will be living relatively close to. I'm not going to show you the house or give you the address or anything, but I will show you the house once we get into it, which will be a while. We'll talk about that. But I will just, let's say, maybe I don't want to have you guys like, dox me. So, anyway, let's talk a little bit about it really quick. So, the last time that we met, the last time that we got together for a live plan with me, where the fuck are my scissors? There's some scissors. Okay. The last time we got together, I did take my pill, Cheryl.
I used them to trim the carpet?
No, I didn't give you those scissors. Those are my good scissors. I gave you the kitchen scissors. Do I feel relieved? Yes. How are you feeling physically from my travels? Still kind of shitty, but a lot better than I did. I'm starting to recover. My sister made the point to me that at this level of kidney function, it takes a long ass time to even feel better in general, let alone if other things are hitting you. All right, so I'll tell you about the new house in just a hot minute, just so I can explain some of what happened. I'll be doing a video where I'll go into more detail about this entire process because it was fucking wackadoodle. But suffice it to say that the week we started showing the house, we wound up with 27 showings, I think, all scheduled. And we wound up blowing town and going and visiting my sister since they're vaccinated and we're vaccinated. And I hadn't seen my sister since before COVID started. So we went down into central, like Tracy, California, which is where I grew up and where my sister still lives, to see her and avoid the showings. And then we still had to avoid more showings because more were happening. And then we flew to Denver and there were still showings happening while we were flying to Denver. And then when we got to Denver, we started looking at houses. And then our first night in Denver, we got all of our offers and we counter offered 3 of them. We got 7 offers, all of which were above asking, which blew my mind. Napa markets are hot right now, and I learned Denver's market was a lot hotter than Napa's, but Napa's market is hot enough, my guys. So we countered all 3. All 3 came back yes, so we went with our top offer and a solid backup. We're really excited for the people who are buying this house. And so we're in the middle of all of that stuff right now. All of the things we're waiting. I think the last big thing before the actual loans get written for both houses is appraisals. All right, so I'm just putting these in. I'll tell you about these pictures really quick. Oh, thank you, Adrian. Did I have to get dialyzed on my trip? No, I did not. I'm still not on dialysis yet, so that didn't happen. And I haven't started meeting doctors yet, but my care team is really getting themselves together on what all we're going to be doing. And the potential transplant center I will be going through is, I think, 20 minutes from our house, if that. So that's really awesome. All right, so the sunset was at one of the malls we were at. We went and got dinner one night, and I just got this because it was beautiful. That's the Cherry Creek State Park Reservoir. This is when we were on our way to look at houses, and we had a really early showing, and then we went to Safeway and got Starbucks with our realtor and this little pug dog who was with a different person getting Starbucks at the Safeway. He decided to the dog's name was Baby, right, Jess?
Yeah. Baby
and Jessie became very good friends. It was very cute. And then these 2 things were both at breakfast at the original Pancake House, and this is Kat's breakfast, and that was RJ's breakfast, and it was goddamn delicious. So, yes. Do the people that are buying my house know that it's my house? I don't think so, and I'm totally fine with that. Anyway, so, I'm just going to put these pictures here. I'm going to put some washi tape. I got these neutral looking ones from Amanda Rach Lee of the few washies I hung on to that aren't packed up. And I'm just going to put a little bit of this on here. I will come and do some journaling later when I'm not online because that's not something I can do when people are fucking looking at me. I'm going to put these on here. And then I think that might be all I do in here because the rest of this will just be journaling. Living in Denver will make taking care of my health easier. I wouldn't necessarily say any easier, except that when it comes time for transplant, you need to be within an hour drive of the transplant center for the first month. and we would have had to stay in a hotel. So, because we're not, with traffic, we're like an hour and a half from the transplant center in San Francisco. All right. So let's start drawing in my week. This is a really weak little memory keeping situation, but honestly, these are some notes I've been making. All right. And I'm basically going to copy the same layout because I really like it. Okay, so let's talk about the house. I'll tell you all about it. All right. Now that you know that we have the offer. So the way the timeline worked on the trip in Denver is that we got to Denver Tuesday morning. We checked into the hotel and then immediately went and saw a couple of houses and then we had dinner, and it was a hard night for us, for Kat mostly. Like, we were all tired from the trip and everything like that. And so it was probably the roughest day of the trip because we were all exhausted and we were all stressed out waiting to see if offers were coming in, because our realtor was going to start accepting offers on Tuesday. She wanted to have the house get shown and then have the offers come in. So there wasn't the same kind of cutthroat wackadooness that we kind of had to deal with in Denver, which I'll talk about in a minute. So there is that. So Tuesday, oh, my light is flickering. Why is my light flickering? Okay. Nope. Come on. Sorry. My fucking light is being annoying. So how'd this work? Okay. So Tuesday, we were waiting for our offers. Our realtor called us, gave us the rundown on the offers. She arranged them with all of their terms and things like that in a spreadsheet, and we went over them. We determined what our top 3 offers were, counter offered them, and then when the counters were accepted, we decided. So everything was decided on Tuesday night, and then Wednesday morning, everything was the counters all went in Tuesday night, and I believe we made the decision Tuesday night, and then everything got signed Wednesday morning, or maybe it all got signed Wednesday night once the counter offers went through. I don't remember. But Wednesday, we didn't look at any houses. Wednesday, we explored. We explored some of the city. We explored some of the area. We got ice cream. We went and looked at office locations for Jesse's company because we knew about some of those. We ate a lot of food. We ate so much food. Oh my God, so much food. We basically took that day to kind of relax, and we went to the big mall, the big fancy mall. I went to my first Anthropologie. I'd never been in an Anthropologie before, so I went to my first Anthropologie, and just basically relaxed and had a good time on Wednesday, because then Thursday the showing started. Now on Wednesday, our realtor gave us a look at some of the coming soon properties that were starting to show up in her portal that she thought might work for us. So I'm not going to show you the house right now. I'll tell you about it. But what I will say is that there was a little bit of destiny, or maybe that's not right, but our original choices, our original filters, which were size and school district and whether or not there was a basement, there was a bunch of filters that she had on for our search. One of the filters that she had was for homes that were built 1990 or later, because most of the features that I wanted in a house are more standard in newer houses, and I didn't want a project house from the 50s, which is what we have right now. Our house was our house was built in the early 50s, and it's been a massive project. I didn't want a project house. So we were only looking at newer houses. The problem is that the inventory, which is already thin to begin with a lot of people competing for it, was thinner when you only have it for new houses. So we changed it. We just removed that filter, and some other houses popped up. One of which was this particular house that was kind of at the higher end of our price range, but we loved it from the pictures, just absolutely loved it, and we wanted to see it. So she got us in to see it as soon as we could on Friday. We saw a bunch of other houses. There were at least 2 other houses we were going to probably be willing to put an offer in, and there were some other houses, you guys. Oh my. There was one house we nicknamed the Sex Panther house because it looked like a bunch of like Boogie Nights kind of porno was filmed there, and Jesse in the basement that only had a tiki bar and a mattress, Jesse found like a video system that had multiple cameras from different directions, so maybe porn was being filmed in that house. Like it was interesting. Plus it had a pool, which is very rare in Colorado, and Kat almost walked into the covered pool because they didn't realize that was what was there. Our current home size, Adrian, is 1,100 square feet. We are tripling that in our new house. So the number of houses we looked at, I think, was 12, right, Jesse? No, because it was going to be 12, but then we didn't. We skipped one at the end because we knew which house we were putting an offer in on. Like, we wanted it. There was no point in even seeing the other one. So we saw 11 total. So there were 2 houses we had seen that we really loved, right? They were newer houses. We loved them. One of them was a little higher in price. The other one was lower in price and was a little smaller, so we called it the Great Compromise House because it also didn't have a fireplace. But we thought because we, being able to sell our house here and the down payment size we were going to have, we could have a chance at getting it. But that house had 90 showings, and we also called it the revolving door house. That house was going to turn into a massive bidding war, and I wasn't going to want to pay what was going to wind up being paid for that house for a house that was, in essence, a compromise, right? Is our house already sold? It is in contract. Technically, our closings on this house and the next house are at the beginning of June, but our sellers, the ones who we're buying from, need a rent back until mid-July, and our buyers gave us a rent back. There's going to be some time where we're going to be in an extended stay hotel in Denver, but that's just what we were willing to do to get this house. Yeah. So Monday, I'm using the thicker one this week instead of the thinner one. I want to have a thick boy. The thicker Clenna, that is. So we saw a bunch of houses on Thursday. We came out on Thursday with those 2 houses I was talking about that we were thinking about putting offers in on. It just so happened that one of them went into contract on Thursday. Like, we didn't put the offer in because we weren't sure yet, and we really wanted to see this other house, and it went into contract, so that worked out fine. And then the other one, we heard about the bidding war it was going to be in, and we were like, so we're like, there's still this other house that we really want to see. So what is it, 17th? Yeah, 17. Anyway, so the new house, I'll tell you all about it. So the new house is fabulous. It's a 1970s house, but it is very updated, and it was very well taken care of. It is just absolutely gorgeous. The kitchen, you guys, the kitchen. One of Jesse's coworkers referred to it as a kitchen of the gods. I am so excited. The kitchen is so nice. You guys know how much I love to cook, and how much our tiny kitchen, which I am grateful for, but it's hard. We measure our kitchens in butts because we're a big butt family. We want to know how many butts can be in the kitchen at the same time, and this kitchen's got room for the butts. The new house is about 3,400 square feet, I think? Question mark? A little bit less. So the kitchen is fabulous. It's 5 bedrooms with a massive master suite, which we love. This newest house's nickname, Jessica, because we nicknamed all the houses we looked at. The newest house's nickname, the house we got, is the Glove because it fits us like a glove. Yeah, the kitchen in this house was remodeled in the last couple of years. It's outstanding. So my office, which I'm very excited about, is not what I expected my office to be. When I made that video where I was talking about my skeleton office and all of the things that I was looking forward to in my new office, I'm not getting all of those. But there's a trade-off. my office is going to be in the basement. Originally, Jesse was going to get the basement in any house that we get so he could be super loud in it. However, the way that this house is set up, there is a small room, one of the bedrooms, that is very dark, and it has an outside door. And Jesse would prefer that over the basement because he was hoping for a walkout basement, which we did not get. I, however, wanted natural light, but the room that I could have as natural light for my office is like the front room, and we really want to keep it a front room because we love how it's set up right now in the house. The basement, it's like 700 square feet, and there's a small workshop that's like a different room, so minus that, let's just say 600 square feet just for shits. I am getting so much space, and it has all these can lights and the like recessed lights in the top that we're going to swap out for smart bulbs so I can manage the temperature. So I don't get the natural light, but I'm making up for it with so much space, and it's carpeted, and it has a lower ceiling than the rest of the house. The rest of the house has vaulted ceilings. So the sound control is going to be outstanding for filming and everything else. And it has a door, and it's going to be my basement. So I am thrilled with it. No natural light. There's a little bit of natural light, but I'm trading natural light for massive fucking amounts of space. So I'm okay with that. And you guys will get to see me as I try and figure out how I'm going to set it up and everything else. I have decided that unless people decide they hate it, because we're going to have a lot of house to furnish, and we're going to be buying some new things as we go along. But we're not going to be like dropping hella money right at the beginning on furnishing the entire house because we can't afford that. So we're being responsible with our money. We would like to make sure that we buy the things we need up front, but that we also have money. Our savings is not completely destroyed by everything else, so that, we have money, because being a homeowner means needing money. So we're going to keep everything but that means we're going to be doing a lot of thrifting. We're going to be doing a lot of antique shopping because this is an older house. And as much as it's been updated, I love the like mid-century style of it. And so I am going to be looking for furniture and pieces that are going to look really good there. So I'm going to take you guys along with it. My goal is throughout this process over the next bunch of months, Kat's going to go shopping with me. We're going to start looking for pieces for the house. And you guys, if you think that's something you'll like, then make sure you like this video. You like and subscribe. Are we keeping any furniture for the Napa house? Not a lot, because the plan cave, Karen, I love that. Jess, we need to get a wooden sign made for my office door that says the plan cave. I like it too. I think that's amazing, Karen. Trademark, Karen. Am I unscrewing my pen? What the fuck am I doing? Okay. So, is it on a slant? I'm not sure. Barbara, there are windows in it. There's like egress windows, but they don't let in a ton of light. They let in a little bit of light, but not a ton of light. So, okay. So then I want to add that the backyard has a patio, like a deck, and like paved area. It's a big backyard. It's beautiful. Oh my God. Oh my God. Like the yard, the house itself, it's moving ready for us. Like the only painting we're going to have to do is in the kids' rooms, because the kids' rooms have some specific color schemes that neither of my kids are super into. So we'll have to get those painted. And they didn't replace the carpet in the kids' rooms because the people who own the house currently have smaller kids, and I wouldn't replace the carpet either if I had smaller kids. But the rest of the carpet's really nice, and RJ really cares about having fluffy carpet, so we'll make sure to replace the carpet in their rooms. But other than that, we don't have to do much to the house at all. The rest of the way the house is painted, the color scheme, the floors, everything, it's perfect for us. Like, it's our dream house. I cried yesterday thinking about it. The kids love it. The kids think it is rad. So they are excited. My current furniture. Thank you for reminding me, Jessica. So current furniture. One of the things that we had to do in order to get this house, one of the things we had to do, because we had to fight for it, this was not our first offer. We basically kept coming back. We were one of the first offers submitted, and we let them know how much we wanted it, that every time new offers came in, we tweaked ours, and we had a very good offer. But we offered some concessions, one of which was that our seller needed to have the rent back because their new house their sellers weren't going to be out until mid-July. And so it's like a domino effect, right? Now, thankfully, our buyers offered us that time as well. So the moving timeline has been moved from June to July. However, there is about a 12-day period when we will be out of this house, but not in the new house yet. And so Jesse and the kids will be with their dad. Jesse and I will be driving to Denver with the cats and staying in like an extended stay or something. In the meantime, we can start ordering furniture. We'll be able to get in and measure. We'll order furniture. We'll do other things. We'll be able to get some work done in that time frame as well. But the key here is that changes our moving plans. So our original moving plans were to get a full service move and have them, pack into the truck, and then the truck gets to the new house, and then they unpack. It's very important that movers do the packing and unpacking, not into the boxes, the loading and unloading into the house, because I can't lift things, and Jesse can't do it all himself. So that was our original plan. However, with this gap, we would have to store our stuff from the moving truck, and that would be an excessive amount of extra money to do that. Like, extremely excessive. So we wanted to look into doing a snap move, which is like a pod move, except it's their service and they still do the loading and unloading. They load it into the pods, they take the pods and store them, then they unload them from the pods. The problem with that is, in order to do that, you have to stay beneath a certain amount of stuff. And even with all of the stuff that we have decluttered, we were still not there. So we are going to have to declutter and reduce even further. So when it comes to our furniture, my beloved couch is going to get sold, which is fine, because in this new house, my beloved recliner couch would not look good in any of the rooms. It does not fit this house at all. So my beloved recliner couch is going to get sold because we're going to buy a new sectional for the new house, and I'm probably going to get a recliner chair for the new house. But so we're going to sell the couch. We're keeping our bed, even though we're getting a bigger bed, because our bed, we love our bed, and our bed's going to be the guest bed. We're keeping Kat's bed because Kat loves their bed, and we can disassemble Kat's bed frame. RJ's bed we're getting rid of it. RJ's frame is actually broken, and his mattress is new, so we're going to sell his mattress. It's only like a year old, but he's getting a bigger bed because he's a bigger man. He's a bigger lad, and because Kat gets the cooler bedroom, so RJ's getting a bigger bed in return, because Kat's bedroom is legit cooler than RJ's. Like, it's cooler. It's not subjective. It's objectively cooler. So there will be more decluttering videos. We're going to have a garage sale to get rid of some of this furniture. All of our bedroom furniture, except for our bed. The bookshelves stay with the house, but the new house has some built-in bookshelves, so I'm fine with that. The bed's coming, but the dresser and the nightstands are going to be gotten rid of. There's other things we're going to be getting rid of too. So it's going to be, we think we can make it. We went over it with the moving guy, and we're pretty certain we'll be okay. Erica, we very likely will be coming through Reno, so remind me of that later. Yeah, I know. So when it comes to ordering furniture, one of the things we're looking at is what items are when, and what we're hoping to do is, for some of the items that have a longer wait time on them, we're going to order them as soon as we hit Denver, because then they will still likely hit a couple weeks after we get into the house, but it'll be a lot faster than if we ordered when we got into the house. How is it objectively cooler, Rebecca? I don't know how much I can tell you about that without you guys being able to find it online, but let's just say, oh hell, whatever. Kat has a loft, like an actual ladder goes up, the attic access, and there's like a little loft area. So Kat has like a little second story apartment in their room, and RJ does not. All right, so I am going to start filling in my week, and then I'll draw in some stuff. Have we thought of an Airbnb for our extended stay? We did think about that, but because it's all happening around the 4th of July, it's going to be more cost effective for us to stay in an extended stay, and it's just going to be the two of us with the cats, and the extended stays are pet friendly, and we found one that we really like it's going to work for us, and it's close to where we want to be. So I think that's going to be our best bet. Yeah, the little cozy spot's going to be perfect for Kat. Kat wanted something like that in their new room, and they're basically getting it. So, no, I'm going to draw my situations first here. Don't worry about it, Rebecca. It's totally fine. How did they pick who got which room? We pretty much knew Kat was going to get that room because Kat, both RJ's too tall for it. Like, his head hits the ceiling, so it really wouldn't make sense for him. He never leaves his fucking gaming chair anyway. And on top of all of that, Kat is usually the one who hosts the other kids whenever we have family over. So giving Kat a little bit more space made more sense. My sister's doing great, Jessica. The kids are going to go visit my sister. RJ just got his first vaccine yesterday. Kat got their second dose this last week, so they'll be fully vaccinated. So they're going to go visit my sister this summer for a week before they join us in Denver. But we won't be seeing them for almost 2 months, which is going to suck. But we'll be so busy. And to be perfectly honest, after spending a week or so with them in a hotel recently, none of us enjoy being crammed into a hotel with all four of us. So, yeah. I haven't decided yet about the West Coast Planners thing yet. But yeah, so my new office will be in the basement. I'm very excited about that. I'm very excited that a lot of the work we're going to be doing is going to be to furnish and decorate the house, not like renovate it. It's for an older house. It is in extremely excellent condition. It has been almost completely updated. So we, our whole like situation is going to be buying furniture and decorating, which I think will make really fun YouTube videos because I like watching those. So flea markets and antique fairs and fucking garage sales. Hell yeah. Yeah, I hope my kids can find new friends quickly. They're excited about going to a new school. So, Kay's second dose went great. As far as I know, Jessica, they were at Dad's. From what they told me, they were just tired and their arm was sore. That was about it. Oh, Amber, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Jessica, do we know what kind of decor we're going to want? The house itself really has, like, basically... And I've been spending, like, don't for a second think I know what I'm talking about when it comes to decorating a house or like decor styles or whatever. Please do not misunderstand me. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I have all of the information one can glean from Pinterest and Google and YouTube. That is the information I have, and that is the information I stick with. If I was going to say what kind of decor we're going to kind of be looking at, for at least for the main house, because Kat's room is, I think, gonna very much fall in like an old-timey kind of cottagecore situation, is what they were telling me. But for the rest of the house, I'm thinking it's gonna try and strike a balance between mid-century modern and bohemian. The mid-century modern because it really suits the prominent kind of architecture of this house. This house has really big windows. Like the way that this house, like the architecture of this house is prominent. It's a very much like part of the character of the house. And so that feels like something that wouldn't have been my first choice for in terms of decor. I don't tend to lean that way, but now I'm in love with it because I can see it in this house. Do you see what I'm saying? And then the boho kind of situation, because that's more of what I like. So mixing the two of them up is going to be the kind of the business. my neighbors are having some kind of a party or something. Will I do a house tour when I leave this one? Yeah, Jane, I will. I'm going to miss this house. I love this house. I'm ready to leave this house now that I know what the new house is going to be. Like, guys, I might have Jesse film my reaction. Let's just say this, hey, Rachel, I'm sorry you missed it too, but that's okay. You can always watch the replay tomorrow because my patrons have gotten a better look at the house because I feel a little bit less weird. You know, not that I don't trust you guys as a community. I do, but, you know, there's certain levels of not, especially since we're not going to be in this house for at least another 2 months. So, yeah. Mid-century modern plus boho plus Michael Myers. Exactly, Jenny. And lots of guitars. Don't forget the hella guitars. This is going to be week 20? Question mark? Yeah. Week 20. All right. I love this layout, you guys. This like simple layout is working really well for me right now because my brain is all over the place. But you guys, this house is amazing. This new house is amazing. It's my dream house. And I grew up, I say as much to my patrons, I grew up in poverty. Like, we had food insecurity, we had income insecurity, we had housing insecurity from time to time. There were times when the plumbing didn't work in our house and we had to use a makeshift outhouse. And it was hard. It was really hard growing up. And I've had not as hard, but still plenty of hard times as I have aged. When I was pregnant with RJ, I had quit my job because I was like on the verge of like a mental breakdown because of it, but also had something to do with MLMs, which I'll talk about in a later video when I go into my feelings on MLMs. But the point is that we didn't have enough money to pay our rent. I barely had enough money to get gas to go to training at my new job. And so I just stopped eating because I figured I was pregnant. My body would take care of the baby and we needed whatever money for food to go to my husband at the time and my toddler cat. So I didn't eat and I wound up blacking out at my training because I hadn't been eating and I was pregnant. So like I've had times like that in my life, and to have a house that is like my perfect house, I was crying thinking about it last night, and I guarantee you when we get in there in our kitchen for the first time, hearing the cats yowling while they're getting used to a new house, I'm probably going to break down crying again. You guys have no idea how grateful I am to all of you, to my patrons, to all of you in the community for being so supportive and everything, both in your support because emotionally you help support me, but also you help financially by watching these videos, when you give super chats, just when you like my shit, when you follow me or you share me or you've bought my books or you are a patron, you know, for no matter how long you've been a patron, or for any of the things you've done where you've been part of this community. In some way you have supported me and my family and allowed us to do something that I never thought was possible for us. And it just blows my mind, and I'm getting really sappy, and I still have a whole bunch of shit I need to write in this bullet journal. I didn't live in Woodland when I was growing up. I lived in Woodland when I went to college in Davis, and then I moved to Woodland, and I lived in Woodland for the majority of my relationship and marriage with Russell. I grew up in Tracy, in Livermore, if you know California. You know, it's funny. My parents, I wish they were alive because they would not believe this. They wouldn't have believed when we bought this house. Like, no lie. They wouldn't have believed it. But this new house, they would have died all over again if they were alive. Jane, see, you understand what I'm saying here. Like, there's a certain level of like this, like, I don't know if I'm going to believe that this, even when we close on it, I don't know if I'm going to believe that it's our house until we actually get the keys and like spend the night there. I don't think I'm going to believe it. MLM, multi-level marketing. Emma, yeah, seriously, right? Like, you get so used to so used to like, this is what you expect out of life. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so what am I doing on Monday? You guys, I don't even know if I can fill in all my shit here. Maybe I'll just flip it back to my face. Why don't we just flip it back to my face? Oh, thank you for the super chat, Liz. I swear that wasn't an advertisement for it. How about, I'm just gonna flip to my face because I have a whole bunch of tasks to write in here, but I have a lot of shit to do this week, and I don't think working on my bullet journal. So why don't we just, I'll be on for 20 more minutes. Why don't we just wrap it up with like a chat as opposed to my bullet journal? You can see my Chucky shirt because I love it so much. You lived in Livermore for 15 years and Tracy for 2. Yeah. What high school did you go to, Lisa? Not that I'm trying to dox you or anything. I went to Tracy High. I graduated in 97. So. Oh, thank you, Amber. Yeah, no, Tracy was where I grew up. I lived in Livermore till I was about 8. Then we lived in Tracy till I graduated. Well, I lived in Tracy till I graduated high school. My mom and sisters lived there after my dad died for quite some time. My mom then moved to Bakersfield. My sister moved to Oregon, but my baby sister is still in Tracy. Oh, thank you, Pie. Yeah, like, I told Jesse that when we bought this house, it took such a weight off of me. And the funny thing is, for some people, when they become a homeowner, it's like a bigger weight because you owe all the, if you take out a mortgage, you owe all this money to the bank, and you're responsible if something breaks. If the water heater goes out, you're responsible. If the AC goes out, you're responsible, as opposed to calling your landlord, right? However, as somebody who grew up with housing insecurity, with massive landlord fear, my parents were always behind on their rent. The reason our plumbing didn't get fixed was because my parents were so far behind on their rent, they didn't want to call the landlord. And I had been behind on my rent. I had perfectly decent landlords as an adult. All of my landlords have been great for the most part, and I still was terrified of them. If they came over for whatever reason, I would disappear. Like, if we knew somebody was coming over for like a walkthrough or something, I'd be like, just tell me when it is so I can not be here. Because being around landlords would put me into a panic attack. Landlords scared the shit out of me because I had grown up being afraid of them. And then as an adult getting behind in our rent, it just made it worse. When we were having really hard times back when I was still married to my ex and my kids were little guys and we filed for bankruptcy and everything else that was happening. And so when we became a homeowner with this house, for me, it was a relief because even if we owe all this money, even if the water heater goes out and we have to pay for it, nobody can make us leave unless we default on the mortgage. Do you know what I'm saying? And that it lifted a weight off of my chest that I didn't know was there until we bought this house and we moved into it. Like, until we moved into this house, I had no idea just how much of that was like causing my daily anxiety. And here's the thing, like, some people renting is perfect for them. Do you know what I mean? Like, some people renting is great. And I also recognize that a lot of my issues with landlords, especially when Jesse and I have been together, we've always been great tenants. We've always paid our rent on time. We've taken care of the houses we lived in, and we've had good landlords. I recognize that my fear of landlords, especially during that time, was unreasonable. I had no reason to be afraid of them aside from my own baggage. However, we as humans can't always control the baggage that we carry. And I didn't realize how much of it was going to be relieved until we bought the house. Do you know what I'm saying? Do we have any land with the new house? Well, I mean, it's not a shit ton of land, but it's bigger than a lot of the other lots. Like, the newer houses have a much smaller lot. This one is like 1/5 of an acre. So not huge, but much more. It's bigger. The lot size is twice as big as the lot we're on right now. Oh, I forgot Jesse put a cherry in there. I just saw it. Oh my goodness. Bye. Yeah, my sister and brother-in-law, they don't want to buy a house. They like renting. They like she told me they like changing up where they live every few years. She doesn't like the process of moving, but she likes changing up where they live, like the neighborhood, the house, whatever. They don't have kids. They live like their child-free lifestyle, and they like to move every few years within their town where they live, but they like to like have variety in the houses that they live in. And for me, I hate moving so much. I swore I'd die in this house. I would never have been like, yeah, let's sell this house and move to Denver if it wasn't for, Jesse working. Like the move is because is getting transferred for his job. That's it. Like I didn't decide to move, but yeah. Oh, thank you, Martha, for the super chat. Yeah, so we are very excited. I will say a couple of things up front about this new house. First of all, everything's bigger in Colorado. Move over Texas. Do my siblings have any of the same feelings from growing up into their adulthood? They do. Maybe not in the exact same way, but we have a lot of similar. There are things that are similar between our feelings. Like we all have stress from being children of hoarders. It kind of manifests itself in different ways. But one big way is that like when we catch ourselves having too much stuff, it starts to like cause like major anxiety. There's also, my sister and I were talking about how like there's little things about cleaning the house that stress us out. Like for me, it's like cushions on the floor instead of on where they belong. Like it legit makes me panic. Anybody else, they're like, just pick them up. But I freak out. My sister has things like that aren't the same. So a lot of the feelings that we have are similar, but they sort of show up in different ways. Does my other sister have kids? Yes. My baby sister has 2 kids. What did I think of Denver? We loved Denver. We absolutely loved it. It felt like home. We're all ready to move there. Like, we were sad to come home. I mean, not really, but like, sort of. If you've ever been to Bend, Oregon, it had a very similar feel, and we love Bend. Bend is where my sister lives and where we love to visit every summer. It has a very similar feel, just bigger. And the altitude didn't actually hit me that hard. We were all winded and we were all exhausted. Kat, I think, got hit the hardest. But Kat also had the Hunt for Red October begin during our trip, so that may have contributed to it. But we all, like RJ and Jess and I went for a walk while Kat took a nap, and it was on a very mild incline, and all 3 of us were like wheezing and winded within 10 or 15 minutes. But it didn't like smack any of us down. What sucked was coming home and driving into the Napa Valley and getting smacked in the face with Napa Valley allergies. Napa is a microclimate, and people get allergies here who maybe don't get allergies anywhere else. And Kat and I both were like sneezing in my eyes. Like I've got my eye drops right here because it's been so bad. Like my allergies, they were not bad at all in Denver. And as soon as we hit Napa, it was like fucking elephant tranquilizer to the face of allergies. Oh, thank you, Katie, for the super chat. So then am I a minimalist? No, Jessica, I am not a minimalist. But if I get overwhelmed with stuff, like I tend to collect, I tend to collect a lot of stuff and then get stressed out by it. So I'm in a very unhealthy relationship with stuff, but I would not call myself, no, I'm not a minimalist. I'm a piler. I make piles of things. Yeah, one of the things that's also exciting is that this was the first offer we put in. We had one of Jesse's coworkers put in 6 offers before he got one accepted. We knew a bunch of people who were struggling to get their offers accepted. And we somehow, our realtor we got her through the moving company that his company has enlisted, and she was amazing. She basically was like sweet talking when she needed to be and a bulldog when she needed to be. And she got us like if you're in the Denver area, I'll recommend her to you because she was rad. Denver is higher altitude, Rebecca. It's a mile high from sea level. Napa is like a foot from sea level. It's like, 20 feet above sea level. I am dreaming about spending more time outside when we get there. I love spending time outside here. Fun fact, we got back just as some fires were happening. Not here in Napa, but in some of the other counties, and the smoke was blowing in. We have committed to taking short walks every day once we get to Denver so that we can work on acclimating to the altitude. Is anyone in your family worried or concerned about the upcoming winter? No. The kids and I are excited to have a winter with snow. I've only been in the snow a couple times in my life. Same with the kids. Jesse grew up on the East Coast. He grew up on Long Island. He knows how to drive in snow. His biggest concern is that once we get up there, we're going to start shopping once we've bought the house and, everything's settled from that, we're going to start shopping. We've already had this in the plan. We've had money set aside for a down payment to shop for a four-wheel drive or an all-wheel drive car or whatever. Yeah. We own both of our cars outright currently, so... Yolanda, I've heard people do the same thing where like some people collect stuff and some people like overthrow things away. I've heard that. There's been other people who've mentioned that to me before as a reaction. Where did I get this shirt? Hot Topic. But it was on clearance, so I don't know if they still have them. It was an adult size, extra large, and I love it. I also have a tank top that has Michael Myers on it that I haven't worn yet because it's not been the last few days have been super chilly. Yeah. Snow excitement wears off in about 20 minutes of the first major storm. Yeah, I'm waiting for that, Lisa. My sister did make some recommendations to me, but I know we'll need winter clothes, Debbie. I'm not going to get to wear my flip-flops year-round anymore. I have to get real shoes. Jesse grew up in East Setauket. So Suffolk County, right? I'm pretty sure. His mom still lives in East Setauket and his dad lives in Port Jeff. A grief response? Yeah, that makes sense too. Is the new house in the Valley of Denver? I don't know what the Valley of Denver is. Technically, the new house isn't even in Denver. We're in Aurora. We're in the burbs. Which is what I wanted. I didn't want to live in the city. Oh, thank you, Lisa. No, I will not wear Birks with socks. My brother-in-law wears Birks with socks, but I won't. But I will wear my flippy floppies as long as I have... You want to recommend a dot grid journal to begin bullet journaling? Oh, dear God. So I'm using the Bear and Fig. I really like it. But the Scribbles That Matter just came back out with their 100 GSM paper, and I'm loving that. And then in a sneak preview of a video that's going to go up this week, I have this as well, the new Passion Journal with 120 GSM paper, and I got the medium-sized, which is B5, the same size as the Scribbles That Matter and the Bear and Fig, or around the same size. Yeah. Motherfucker. So, that's coming. I've been to Port Jeff before. I've visited New York with his to see his family several times now, and it is beautiful. He actually lives in Belterre, I believe. Get a humidifier? Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that quite a bit, especially because we were feeling very scratchy throated after being there from the dry air, so that's on our list. Oh, thank you. I am a humanist. We also drove past the UU church that I think is going to be the one that we check out once checking out churches becomes a thing again. There's a few of them that we're going to look at, but there's one that that's kind of gotten in our sights. So I will be changing time zones to mountain time. I have no idea how that's going to impact the lives yet. If I'm going to keep them at this time or if I'm going to move them backwards because it's better for my schedule. I don't know yet. Also, I don't know what's going to happen with the lives because our time that I'm going to need off for moving is bigger now because of that 12-day interim period. So there may be a live or two in there because it's longer than I expected, but I'm not sure yet. So stay tuned. The lives are going to continue through the month of June, as far as I know, unless something radically changes. But all we have left now is packing. So we don't have to worry about staging or showings or anything now. So hopefully I'll still be on track for all of them. Yeah, and apparently the Michael's Recollections dot grid journal is only like $5 and is really good. Lives right now are 3:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Thanks, Wendy. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to change them or not, so stay tuned for that. I'll probably wear my flip-flops all the time inside unless I'm wearing my cat slippers. I love my cat slippers. Hey, Beck. It's been a while since I've seen you. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. The furnace in the new house is new. It's, I think, like 4 years old, maybe. So, am I going to do a month of journaling every day that I did 2 years ago? I do want to do that. So, fun fact. Okay, let's take a few minutes and talk planners here for the next 4 minutes before I sign off. So, first of all, I am fairly certain that I will need a new bullet journal in July. I think I'm going to need a new bullet journal in July. I might be able to make this last through July because I'm going to be all over the place. So it's probably going to be just like making notes every single day as opposed to setting up weeklies or whatever. So it may last until August. Either way, I'm going to need a new notebook either July or August. So I'm going to have to make a decision about that soon. On the same note, I am not sure if I am going to stay in the bullet journal only lifestyle come that new notebook, because I have a planner that I am absolutely in love with, and I keep thinking about it, and I keep thinking once I move and unpack everything and all my stickers and things become accessible to me again, like when they were accessible and I just didn't use them, that's one thing. But now that they're packed away, I miss them. So there may be a chance that I'm going to switch back and give it at least a month in that planner. I've already done a video on it. Like, it wouldn't be a new planner that I haven't reviewed yet. It would be the Flourish planner. I fucking love the Flourish planner. Like, it's not a super well-known planner, but it's everything I want. So there may be a chance that come August, I will be starting a new bullet journal and trying to do the planner bullet journal thing again. If I do that, I will likely do in September a plan as you go month to show how that's working. I don't know yet. So those things are all possible, but I can't guarantee anything because until I move, I have no idea what my life is going to look like. And until I move, I have no idea what my needs in a planner are going to be because fucking who knows at this point, right? Am I using the Hobo Weeks for memory? I'm not. No. The memory planning, it died the way of the dodo. It's basically just went. So, yeah. Sleep with a damp wash. Ooh, I like that, Lisa. I'll have to write that down. Better late than never, Corley. Yeah. So, I don't know yet. And it might not be that planner. It might be something else. But that planner, if you didn't watch that video, I don't have it linked right now, but go check it out. Look up the Flourish planner. It came out, I think, a month ago. It's neutral. It's beautiful. The paper is wonderful. It's horizontal, which is one of my favorite ways of planning. The paper, no, it wasn't because of the paper. It was because of the fucking, apparently memory keeping and I are just fucking, we just don't get along that well. Like my memory keeping is going back in my Instagram story archive. Yeah. So the goal journal I use is the power sheets, which have gotten a little neglected this month because let's just take a second here. Let's just take a second and look at my May goals. A lot of my May goals, like finish packing the house and collecting all the medical records, are all getting moved by a month because my whole situation has shifted. So I'm gonna need to update these a little bit. Like they're which I knew might happen, so it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, they're kind of out of date. I can use stickers in a bullet journal, but currently my stickers are hiding. And I don't know yet. I haven't decided. So I think because my life is in so much chaos right now, it's just making me want to try something else, which I know thankfully I packed that planner because I knew I was going to want to take a look at it again, but I also knew that I didn't need the temptation of starting another planner when I'm in the middle of all of this. So we'll see how I feel when I unpack my office and I come across it. I don't even know what box it's in. I'll have to check that out. Thank you, Ninona. Anyway, I'm going to get going. Thanks for hanging out with me. I have a lot of stuff to put in this spread, and I'll put a picture of it on Instagram sometime this week. But I really appreciate all of you being here for this. I appreciate all of you for joining me on any of these lives. We'll be doing another one this next week where I will be starting to work on my Goodbye California spread. Finally, I wound up, our trip to Tracy actually gave me the opportunity to visit a bunch of places in Tracy and Livermore to take pictures for my spread. So I actually have a bunch of pictures to put in it. So I have some real work we can do. And maybe we'll just focus on that this next week because obviously memory keeping for me is just, it's not something I'm very good at. It's not the right word. It's something I'm not very interested in, I think. I think part of me wants to be a memory keeper, but the other part of me is like, no, you don't. Yeah. Hot mess plan with me. Jessica, that'll probably not happen till after I move, unless I do one for like the week we're driving, because that, I won't really need my planner for that. Anyway, I will see you guys next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, 2:30 Pacific time. And if you're a patron, you know where to find me. I'll talk to you soon. I really love you all. I missed you, and I'm so excited to be back.